So we hear a lot about the agent economy recently, and I think it's one of these ideas that's been around for a while, and the time is finally coming for it to hit the mainstream. And it's often hard to say when that's going to happen with the technology, right? Like AI, of course, has been around since 1950s with that name, and before that with different names like cybernetics and so forth, and then not till ChatGPT 3.5 or something did AI reach a broad-based enough level of practical maturity for it to really start to have a huge impact on the economy outside of certain sectors. Like virtual reality, we're kind of still waiting for that to have really the broad-based impact that many people feel it's capable of having. Now, the agent economy, the idea is not new, right? I remember, we were thinking as soon as the internet came out in the late 90s that AI agents on all the time should be carrying out most of the transactions on the internet. Like I remember a conference on this in I think it was Rockhampton in Queensland in Australia in 1996 or something, digging into the mathematics of the agent economy and how this would automate everything. So idea has been around a while. Then, of course, when SingularityNet was founded in 2017 and Fetch was founded in 2018, we had a whole bunch of fairly sophisticated infrastructure for operating an agent economy, but we didn't manage to get a lot of traction, and this was partly for infrastructure reasons, like Ethereum blockchain. I remember when we did the initial coin offering for SingularityNet, the whole network was bogged down by CryptoKitties, and people couldn't get financial transactions to clear, right? So the infrastructure was not great, but also people's attitudes were not mature, and people didn't trust agents to do transactions for them. And there's also a sort of network effect and economy of scale aspect, right? Like until enough people are using agents, then it doesn't make sense for you to use agents, because if you're using an agent to interact with people and the other people aren't comfortable with agents, it's not going to work well. So you really need you to be using agents, a bunch of other people using agents, and then you have the whole emergence, like the snowballing emergence of an agent economy, right? So I think we're arguably getting there now, right? And like what you see is inside walled gardens, like inside Anthropic ecosystem, for example, you have a whole bunch of different agents, Claude agents interacting with each other, ruled over by another Claude agent, and you have frameworks like OpenClaw and then big tech emulations of that, and other more decentralized ecosystem native claw agents like Hermes Claw, right? And you have these that a whole bunch of people are using to automate a whole bunch of their online interactions, which is like a real beginning of an agentic economy. And the Omega Claw product that we're working on in SingularityNet is along these lines, right? Like we're aiming to take something OpenClaw-like. We've re-implemented it in the meta language, which supports strong, real-time reasoning-driven code self-modification. We've plugged the atom space long-term memory in a simple form from the Hyperon AGI project in there, some logical reasoning. We're aiming to put more and more advanced intelligence into the Omega Claw loop and use this sort of online agent as both a way to carry out more sophisticated functions and simplistic agents like OpenClaw or Hermes Claw that need more long-term memory and more reasoning, and also a way to sort of incrementally move from practical real-world agents doing useful stuff toward AGIs by dropping in more and more pieces of the Hyperon AGI platform in there. So with all this, like maybe the time for the agentic economy is really coming. So in that spirit, I've been posed a few questions by a journalist about the agent economy, and I'll write down some nice answers for them, but I decided to sort of talk through the answers first in this video, just to clarify my thinking a bit, right? So first question, what are the infrastructure limitations preventing AI agents from operating as reliable, high-volume economic participants? So I think on that one, I don't think there are big infrastructure limitations right now. Like I mean, I think it could be done. We could have the whole economy operated using agents. Like I mean, they're within developed world economies anyway. I mean, there exist in principle adequate payment rules. Networks are fast enough. There's various schemes for identity, right? I mean, I think it's more system integration and usability, really. I mean, it's finding ways to package up agentic functionality that are simple enough for the average end user to just plunge in and do it without a lot of hassle, right? And because I've seen, like, even for me as a relatively sophisticated computer user, like wanting to set up a bunch of agents using Cloud Code or Codex to do things that are useful for me. I mean, insanely easier than a year ago or even 6 months ago. But even using these big tech infrastructures, there's a lot of repeated tedious work to fix issues to get your agents up and running, doing your thing. And then every now and then they'll go awry in a new way. You have to go back and fix them. And that's even more true with something like OpenClaw, or even our Omega Claw, which is very intelligent and functional, but still in sort of a raw and early form, right? So I think it's more about usability and integration of the existing available tools into a simply usable package rather than the infrastructure not being good enough, right? I mean, what we've tried to address with Omega Claw are some additional issues that are also very important to address, like agent continuity. Like, the agent should remember what it has been doing. The agent should know who you are and what you have been doing. It should be able to accumulate trust and to maintain, active relationships with other agents and other people, even when its host environment changes. And I mean, these aspects of agent continuity, identity, reputation are also quite important. And there can be some perhaps feedback between solving the usability problem and solving this agent continuity problem. Because if you have agents that are more, like their own autonomous entities, like more like people that understand who you are and who they are and what they're doing, then it may be that these agents are more able to help set themselves up and help solve all the nitty-gritty problems with agent configuration that exists in the agent ecosystem now. So yeah, that's how I look at infrastructure. Like the infrastructure is there really. We need more usability, and then to expand the scope of agent functions, you need more continuity, sense of self, and world modeling capability on part of the agents. And what will be interesting is if these two problems sort of get solved all in one swoop, because the more continuous agents with more identity, they're self-configuring and they understand better by their interaction with you what you need them to do, so they can configure themselves to do the useful things, right? Next question: how will this current crypto infrastructure support cross-ecosystem agent coordination? I mean, not as well as it should, right? I mean, I think the main issue is identity. Like, we don't have simple to use ways to keep your identity persistent across multiple blockchains. Instead, you have like a bunch of different addresses. Like, your identity is even fragmented within one blockchain, right? You have multiple wallet addresses, and I mean, you have multiple Ethereum addresses, multiple Cardano addresses, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, it's not hard to make a tool that ties all these into a single identity in a secure and decentralized way. And a bunch of tools like that exist now, but they're not widely used or widely adopted, right? And until that's the case, it's not going to be slick to transact across different crypto networks. And I mean, once identity is there, I mean, then you can keep a cross-network record of what interactions and actions and transactions a person has done. And I mean, then or a person or an AI agent has done, right? And I mean, then that can serve as the foundation of calculating various sorts of reputation scores. And then you can move on to like a shared incentive structure, right? And once you have shared identity, shared reputation, you have shared incentives, and then you can look at, like, are we incentivizing actors to do cross-chain activities when it's beneficial for them and others? And I mean, again, it's not really a deep technical infrastructure problem. All the tools are there. It's more packaging up in a simple way for people to use and getting traction, right? So what are the biggest pieces preventing, next question, what are the biggest missing pieces preventing a true multi-agent economy? I mean, I think there are no big technical missing pieces. We could have a true multi-agent economy right now, and we could have in 2019, 2020, even if in 2017 when we founded SNet, the crypto infrastructure was a little too immature. I mean, the thing is, there's network effects you need to see the adoption of a new way of doing things, right? And it may be that agents with persistent self-understanding and persistent world modeling of self-other and environment, like we're doing with Omega Claw. I mean, it may be that this is what makes it such a slam dunk to use agents for things, that it causes the network effects to finally crystallize, right? And I mean, provenance is also important here, like having good tracking of what agent did what, and so that you can assign reputation and assign credit properly. But again, the fundamental tools are there for that. It's just not what the ecosystem is really focused on, right? So I mean, all you need is use one of the many decentralized identity protocols out there, and then, store records of parties' activities appropriately encrypted and associated with their identifiers, and then, anyone can look at these and can use these for measuring reputation as they wish, and then these persistent agents can be incentivized for beneficial activities across networks. Like there's no, it's not like quantum computing or something where we've got some fundamental science and engineering advances to do to get to the point where quantum computing can hit the big time, right? And it's not like crypto networks were in 2718, where just the time to clear transactions was so slow that it was hard to see how you'd compete with, MasterCard, Visa, and then, insecure messaging protocols. I mean, we can do scalable, secure messaging. We can do fast transactions. It's all about making it easy to use and getting people's attention, really. Next question. What are the practical challenges in creating viable economic incentives for agents to transact autonomously at scale? I think really the biggest challenge is that centralized big tech offers centralized services at a loss for a long time until people become addicted to them, and then the network effect has sort of sucked everybody in, right? So I mean, or they use advertising models, so people are paying without realizing they're paying, right? So I mean, the mainstream economy, by filtering money from sovereign wealth funds, private equity, family offices into venture capital funds, and then VC putting a huge amount of money into subsidizing the early stage of operations of companies that are required by big tech, and then public markets, massively subsidizing operations with humongous valuations for companies that are operating at a loss, like, say, OpenAI, right? I mean, all this means a centralized economy is kind of a shell game that's subsidizing services until they've overcome early network effects and people have become addicted to them, right? And so what that means is like walled garden agent ecosystems, like you have within Anthropic or within Google or something. I mean, these are subsidized by VCs and they're subsidized by public market dynamics that are just operating at a much bigger scale than current crypto markets. And if you offer something superior in the crypto markets for agents, like even if it has more potential to deliver value to customers by being more wide open in terms of what contributions it could take, and then more wide open in terms of the emergent dynamics in the network that could form, right? I mean, how do you seed it effectively to get to the point where the network effects will take over, right? Well, I mean, either you make people pay for the service they're getting, but then you're at a disadvantage to big tech, which can offer services, at a loss, fueled by VC and public market dynamics, or you try to juice it up with tokenomics, like in effect offering things at a discount also, but then you're dealing with the insane volatility of the crypto markets, which means juicing it up with tokenomics only works when you're in an insane bull run, right? So I mean, I think these broader issues are the main challenges in creating economic incentives, and the volatility of the crypto market combined with the difficulty of competing with the VC and the mainstream capital markets. I mean, this has driven most crypto economy participants to just focus on schemes for giving people like short-term rewards through short-term oriented DeFi mechanisms, because these are the things that can pay off within the upswing of a brief bull market, right? So there's really no problem with designing tokenomics that makes sense and will reward generally beneficial activity. The challenge is layering that tokenomics on top of the extreme volatility of the crypto markets, right? Because with everything tied to this extreme volatility, no matter how good your tokenomic design is, in a bull market, it's going to be subverted to pump, and in a bear market, it's going to just look bad. So we've put a lot of work into how to work around these factors in trying to design the ASI chain tokenomic system, right? And we've tried to design that as a token economy where each shard in the ASI chain framework has its own liquid staking token. And the logic of these liquid staking tokens is supposed to survive both bull runs and like bearish crashes without the internal tokenomics of products offered on shards being dominated by the volatility of the overall ecosystem. But that's been the biggest sort of challenge. Now the final question I'm looking at here: what's the single most important missing piece in today's infrastructure stack? I mean, coming back to my answers to the previous questions, probably the single most important piece is like a super easy way to onboard into an agentic ecosystem and set up a fleet of agents and watch what they're doing and keep them from going around, keep them from spending all your money. Like, it's just having a simple, like, dumbass UX that anyone can use to make this stuff function. And I mean, I can see that even in my own life. Like, I've set up a bunch of agents to do AI research for me and prototype AI software for me, and that's like a work thing that was worth it. Now, my two kids who are 5 and 8 years old, my two little kids, I have some other grown-up kids, my two little kids, they're going to an assemblage of different summer camps this summer, and it was a bunch of work for my wife with a little bit of my help to figure out like which camps are offered which weeks and what's the schedule. Like some of this information was on the web, some was in SMSs, some was in emails or WhatsApp groups or something, and then some of their friends were going to some camps in some weeks. So in principle, this is a perfect job for an AI agent, right? Like, it doesn't require Nobel Prize level reasoning. It requires basic reasoning about physical locations and schedules. Like, if the two kids are going to a different camp one week, they should be close by or around the same time or something, right? So drop off and pick up aren't too insane. If you know what weeks their friends are going, they might want to go preferentially to a certain camp the same week as one of their friends. Like, just scarfing around on all the different sources of messages, putting that into a shared annotated calendar, doing some constraint satisfaction reasoning about what kid to put in what camp when. Perfect use case for agents. I mean, in my case, I tried to set up OpenClaw agent to do this, and in the end, like, too much of a pain in the ass. Like, there's too much stuff in SMS, which there was no simple way to get into. And I mean, I could have, of course, solved it all, but it seemed like that was going to be more work than just doing it as humans, right? And that same story will pop up over and over again. So you need that not to be the case, right? Like, you need it to be simple, just to set up the agent automations to do everything that you need to do. And that's, of course, that single missing, super easy to use interface. I mean, that's actually a lot of integration on the back end, but then you can work around inadequate integration with more intelligence, right? So you either need really, really good integration in the back end and then good UX design, or else if you make agents that have more intelligence to them and understand who they are and understand what environment they're operating and understand who you are, then they can sort of work out many of these integrations together with you as they go, right? Which is what we're working on with Omega Claw, and along with that would come a natural framework for agents to take responsibility for what they do. So you could then trust them more to do more important things. Like if an agent has no memory and doesn't know who it is or who you are, I mean, it's a tool, which is fine. If an agent knows who it is and who you are and what your world is, eventually you can build a relation of trust with it, right? And then you can trust it doing more and more different things. And this would then, in the end, this would lead to the meaningful development of frameworks for agents to have moral and legal standing, right? And if you have these individual autonomous agents with their own moral and legal standing, but they're each like their own thing that are working with individuals on a one-to-one or small group basis rather than owned and controlled by big companies in a top-down way. I mean, this not only helps make agents more useful, it helps lead the path toward a sort of decentralized infrastructure for singularity and AGI emergence and all that, right? All right, there's a few thoughts on what's between here and the agent economy, and I think, like AI in the post-Chat GPT 3.5 era, I think it may be time for the agentic economy to finally break through and become a real thing that everyone uses. And my hope is that by rolling out Omega Claw and associated software, like we can help this happen in the decentralized Web3 ecosystem rather than be trapped within a number of different, big tech walled gardens. Like the core tech is there now, and at a high level, the collective psyche is there now, but there's still a lot of pieces to be pulled together. And the hope is that our agents can help us pull these pieces together, right?